Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chris Davis, and today we're going to review Dragon Ball Daima episode 6. So I hope you guys have been liking the Dragon Ball Daima content, especially all the graphics I've been putting up and the audio. I'm really trying my very best to make the quality better in my videos every single time. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Episode 4, the episode 4 review could have been better, but I was in a rush to make that video. But going forward, I'll make sure the other videos are solid. But with that being said, let's get into it. And if you haven't watched it yet, go watch my review of Dragon Ball Daima episode 5. I'll have an end card somewhere up here. With that being said, let's get into it. So, Dragon Ball Daima episode 6. So, picking up where episode 5 left off. So, with episode 6, Goku, Glorio, Supreme Kai, and Pansy are in their plane, but it's going to crash because there's too much cargo on the plane. Pansy packed up too much stuff and the plane couldn't carry that much cargo. So they crash land. And when they crash land, we have this gag moment where Goku needs to use the restroom. He uses the restroom. But while Goku's using the restroom, we see the Gerrymandery. I don't know if I'm saying their name right, but the Gerrymandery spot their crash ship, and they start asking the group questions, asking them like why they're together, why they're in the third demon realm. And then they finally ask them, have they seen a spiky haired kid with a red stick, which is Goku? And they all basically tell them no. And then the Gerrymandery decide to go ahead and leave. Goku pops up and says, hey, what was all that about? And they all tell him, hey, they're looking for you. And Supreme Kai asks Goku if there's any way he can change his hairstyle. And Goku's like, no way. This is just the way his hair is. Anyway, Pansy is able to fix the ship, showing she can contribute to the team even though she can't fight. She can contribute to the team. She knows machines, like she said, and she gets the plane back up in the air. While they're in the air, we get some more lore about the Supreme Kai's race. So we learn that Supreme Kai's race, the Glen, they're born from Glen trees every few centuries. And we learn that his siblings, Dr. Rinsu and Degasu, they decided to stay in the demon realm because they didn't get along with the other Glen, and also they were very ambitious and they liked the excitement of the demon realm. So they stayed in the demon realm while most, if not all, the other Glen left the demon realm to be Kais of other universes. Anyway, it's getting dark and they decide to go camp in a cave since there's no hotels nearby. And while they're in that cave, they eat the food that Pansy brought, and then they're asleep. And while they're asleep, Glorio steps away to make an important call, and the person who he calls is Dr. Rinsu. So Glorio is a traitor. Supreme Kai was right to be suspicious of him. His story hasn't been adding up. In episode 5 of Daima, Supreme Kai was telling Goku that Glorio's story isn't adding up, that when they were talking to the third Demon King, it really came across as if Glorio came to him and the third Demon King didn't call on Glorio. And this confirms Supreme Kai's suspicions, and Supreme Kai was right to be suspicious of Glorio. Glorio is working for Dr. Rinsu, and she is the mastermind behind everything. Glorio goes back to sleep. Supreme Kai noticed he was gone for a moment, and then this is when the story starts changing. A Minotaur starts charging. It wakes up Supreme Kai and Glorio. And then they have to wake up Pansy and Goku. And then Pansy is screaming, Goku is shocked, and then it was the Minotaur. He roars And then it turns into a gag moment where Goku's like, "Oh, it's a cow," and he just says it in a very nonchalant way, like there's nothing to worry about. And then the Minotaur is confused, like, "What are you talking about? I'm a Minotaur. I'm not a cow. I walk on two legs. I speak. No cow's this big. I'm a Minotaur." And then Goku's like, "Hey, that's a pretty cool name." And then the Minotaur is flattered. And he's like, "Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna beat you all up, and then I'm gonna eat you." And then to continue the gag moment, Supreme Kai, uh, Shin, he reiterates what the Minotaur says. And then Glorio's like, "Okay, that's enough. Let's step out. You and me, Minotaur." And then Goku's like, "Hey, hold on. This guy may be too much for you, Glorio." And then Glorio is irritated and he's like, "Hey, you're not that much stronger than me." And then Goku's like, "I beg to differ." And then they're like, "Okay, let's settle this outside." And so the Minotaur is looking at them weird and it's like, "Are you guys ignoring me? Do you understand that I'm standing right here? Are you guys literally ignoring me?" And then Glorio and Goku are like, "Yes, we are ignoring you. We're gonna fight each other. You just stand there and wait your turn. We'll get to you." And then we see this really cool fight between Glorio and Goku. Goku's fighting Glorio with just one arm, and the combat's really good. They're just doing hand-to-hand combat, and Goku's just fighting him with one arm, just like he said. But then the fight changes, and then Glorio starts using his magic, and this magical lightning blast nearly hits Goku. Goku dodges it. Supreme Kai tells Goku to fight more seriously so he can see how strong Glorio is. That's when Goku busts out his power pole, and then Glorio does this magical force lightning blast like the Sith. And Goku is flying, he's dodging the lightning streams, and then he hits Glorio with his power pole. But that's when Glorio uses this magical lightning whip and he knocks the power pole out of Goku's hands. And as this fight's going on, we cut between the fight and the spectators. And the spectators are Supreme Kai, Pansy, and the Minotaur. And this is so funny whenever they cut to the spectators, because you look at the Minotaur's face and he's like, "What have I got myself into? Was I seriously about to fight those two? Those two are way stronger than I am. Like, I had no chance of beating these guys. In fact, if I tried to fight them, they would have obliterated me." And the Minotaur cannot believe his eyes and see how strong Goku and Glorio are. And he's relieved that he saw this and he didn't fight them, because he would have gotten demolished. Anyway, the fight takes another turn. Glorio is charging up this lightning laser blast, and then when he's firing it, Goku sees his Super Saiyan power in the palm of his hand and he changes into a Super Saiyan. And then Glorio fires the blast and Goku demolishes the blast. In fact, he doesn't necessarily demolishes it, he makes the blast dissipate by using a spear hand technique. And the blast dissipates, and you should look at Glorio's face. He's like, "I can't believe that he's a child and he's this strong." You just look at the shock on his face that he couldn't believe that Goku is this powerful. Even when he's turned back to a child, he's this strong. And then Goku teleports behind him and tells him, "Hey, fight's over." And Glorio agrees. And then Goku turns back to normal. And then he says, "Okay, Minotaur, it's your turn." The Minotaur's like, "What? Are you nuts? I'm not gonna fight you." He makes up this excuse saying that he ate earlier and he's full and he doesn't need to eat them. So they got lucky today, even though that's bull. He said at the very beginning that he was gonna beat them up and then eat them. And now after he saw the fight, he says, "Hey, I'm good. I'm full. You guys are lucky today. Lucky for you, I already ate and I'm not hungry. So I'm gonna get out of here." but we all know that he just ran away because he's scared now. But before like this episode ends, we cut to the lookout, and Goku, Kibito, and Piccolo are trying to head to the demon realm on the ship that Bulma created. However, it only lifts off for a little bit, but then it crashes, and that's where the episode ends. So overall, amazing episode. We got some great lore about the Supreme Kai's race, the Glen, where they come from, about Dr. Rinsu, Degasu. We also uh, learn more about Glorio, that he is working with Dr. Arinsu. And I can't wait until, they catch Glorio in the act, because you're just going to see how everyone's going to react. Supreme Kai is going to be like, I told you so. And then Goku is going to be shocked. And Glorio better hope that Goku doesn't find out that he betrayed them, because if he did, Goku is going to demolish Glorio. Like he could have just wiped Glorio out in this episode, but he didn't, because it's supposed to be some friendly sparring competition. But as soon as Goku learns about who Glorio really is, and he doesn't like change or anything like that, he doesn't turn good or anything like that, Goku is going to demolish Glorio. So for Glorio's sake, you better turn a new leaf and betray Dr. Insu, because if he doesn't and Goku figures out that he's an actual traitor, it's going to be a bad day for Glorio. All right, that's all we have for today. If you liked what I had to share, please hit the like button, hit subscribe. Share this video with all your friends, and all of you have a great day.